Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Some grooming topics are uncomfortable, but necessary. Today, Shannon and Tanya walk us through the honest conversations that protect dogs, support groomers, and prevent avoidable problems. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio with professional groomers at Hound Therapy, Shannon and Tanya. Hi, ladies. Great to be back with you today. Now, let's talk about the hard conversations pet owners avoid. What are some of these conversations you wish owners would know sooner, would have sooner, and why do they matter so much?
Well, I mean, let's start with your groomer notices a lot of things that you may not. We have an up close and personal view. And things that are hard to hear is that your dog is in pain, or hey, your dog might be a little overweight, or your dog looks really skinny, or oh, your dog is very smelly. Have you looked at his skin lately? Um, some of the ways and things that we see may not come across as, an easy conversation to have or to hear, and may feel like, we're coming at you in an indirect kind of a way, or trying to be, you know, rude, or
Yeah.
say that you're not doing something correct. We're really just doing it for honest communication so that
Yes.
we can protect your dog.
And I mean, and we're not trying to judge you. That is the last thing that we want to do. We handle your dog's entire body. So, and usually pet owners don't. That's just not something people do day to day. So we will notice changes in their that are hidden underneath the coat. So we will feel the lumps, the bumps, the warts, things like that. And usually we'll come to you and be like, hey, you might want to get this seen by, your vet.
Yeah, I mean, if we sometimes it's, hey, we hit a mole, and we took it. We didn't. The mole wasn't there. 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. The dogs that come on a regular basis more often, they're a little bit easier. But even with those, if we notice an average, a more than average tear stain or goop between the eyes, we'll say, hey, look, it's time for an allergy pill. You're like, oh gosh, you're right. I forgot to get my allergy pills today.
Yeah.
We notice that, and it's if we say something. If your dog has lost weight, you might be like, well, I thought it did, but I see him every day. Well, it
Or
cause
even
for alarm.
or even the flip side of your dog has gained a lot of weight. That could equally just be as bad. And it's never meant as an attack on you or your dog. It's simply to protect them.
And matting, if we see matting or tangles, if we see it every single time you come, we usually won't continuously educate you for. But we do want you to understand what matting is, what tangling is, and how they're different. What is it we have to do to get it out? What your dog has to endure to get them out? Is it going to be excessive? Is it a minor problem? So we believe that having those conversations with you is really more of an educational value, because this is our job. It's not your job. And we want you to be as informed as possible and give you some recommendations of things that you can do so that it can be easier for us, for you, and for your dog moving forward. So it's definitely, there are definitely no judgments. It's just more of a, hey, we noticed this, we saw this. And sometimes we'll call and forgot to tell you, my dog went to the vet, and she almost died last week. So we had to, we forgot to mention that. Well,
Okay.
that would have been good information at check-in. We'll notice that the front paw has been shaved down and it looks like an IV's in. Sometimes it's just a tooth cleaning, but if something has happened,
Your groomer needs to know.
yeah, let's communicate that both ways. Communication works two ways. um Dogs' weight affecting our groom, lifting up and down, those are things that that will, those are minor things. Lumps and bumps, cysts and moles, if they're in a bad spot or a location that you may not be checking, around a rear, in front of an eye, on a toe or a joint. If we see that the dog's having mobility
Yeah.
problems, we might mention those things to you too. Um, Even if they're small, we try to mention them to you.
What about the most common hard truth owners struggle to hear about their dog's coat or behavior?
Ooh, nobody likes to hear their dog's a biter. No,
Nobody likes that.
and there's no good way. Well, there's probably a nicer way to say it than I do, but I believe in honesty and I'm pretty upfront and I don't care that your dog bites or if he's nervous or scared. I mean, I care because we want to do something about him, but we'll do it regardless. So it's we're not saying we can't do it. We're just saying we might need to do this in a different way. But nobody, I mean, nobody likes to hear
Yep.
or feel bad about dropping their dog off at your groomers or the vets, knowing that somebody might also have to go to the doctor after
Yeah.
seeing your dog. um, so that's probably, I know if it were my dog, I'd be like, what do you mean she bit you? She's never, she's
Yeah.
the nicest dog. Well, you can have the nicest, sweetest dog at home. This is a different environment. And, most things happen out of reaction for a dryer, another dog, an environment, a location. There's a lot of different
Yep.
things going on here that your dog may react to differently than they do at home. Um, there are some genuine owners who I think don't know that because groomers are afraid
Yeah.
to say, hey, if you pick up your dog and your groomer every single time, it's just like, oh my God, your dog is so sweet. It was so, that is a lie.
If they were secretly in the back fighting with it the whole time.
Right. Your dog is usually pretty good and nice, but every once in a blue moon, your groomer should say, I don't know what's going on with your dog today, but she just wasn't feeling it. She just kept sitting
Yeah.
down. She seemed really tired. They don't want to,
I mean,
they don't really discuss that because nobody really
yeah.
wants to hear that, right? We do, just because we feel like it's good information. And if your dog is sitting down a lot more or more tired, there could be a really logical explanation, or it might be an underlying problem that's going on that you don't know about, or you might have noticed at home. So without the conversation, we're
Yeah.
never going to know.
And sometimes it may not be behavioral. Sometimes they could legitimately be in pain as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like we've noticed this or we've noticed that, and or we found a nail that was broken in the carpet, or this nail has grown in, so be cautious of this particular foot. So I mean, it's just there's a lot of things that can be hard to hear. I would say biting is the number one.
Yeah.
Um, you know, no, everybody feels bad. And then for us, you shouldn't. I mean, it's we take on that risk. It's something that we
Yeah.
do, and dogs bite. All dogs bite. My dog, the sweetest dog in the entire world. She is capable of biting. She can bite.
I always tell people if it has teeth, it can bite you.
Yeah, it's it happens. So we've signed up for it. It's good. And you have signed up for being as honest and truthful as possible. If I know your dog doesn't like something, I can approach your dog in a different way, with other skills that I've learned to put your dog more at ease, and to put you more at ease,
Yeah.
so that we don't have an issue and your dog has a good experience.
So, Shannon and Tanya, how can owners better communicate their dog's triggers or past experiences to you guys?
Uh, I would say most people that have had a problem before, they almost immediately they will say, "Do you do this?" And it's because they've been corrected before. Dogs that have, if it's a new puppy to you, you wouldn't know.
Yes.
If it's just a rescue dog, usually those are keywords. I've just rescued my dog. My next question then is, last year, 6 weeks ago, or have you had the
Yeah.
dog 7 years? Because 7 years is not a just rescued dog.
No.
That is a dog that is fully yours and should have well-behaved manners. But if you've just picked up an animal, most people are very forthcoming with that. They're a little shy about saying, "Hey, look, my dog might have a problem with this or might have a
Yeah.
problem with that. Is that something that you can handle?" And, our answer is almost always, yes, it is. Other people are just straight out front and they're just like, so my dog was kicked out and I need to
Yeah.
find a place that will accept him because he's a jerk.
And I had a client that we actually do now, and his dog bit the groomer. They kicked him out, and then he bit him a few days later. And he's like, they won't take him back. And I can't do this on my own. So can you take him? And I was like, of course we can. He's actually not that bad of a dog.
So, usually it's most people are forthcoming. And whether they are forthcoming just super abruptly and direct. My dog's been fired from 5 grooming shops, it is what it is. They've still got to get done. We would still try to do it without sedation. We would still try to do it without medication. We're not a vet's office. We don't want to add any kind of medical procedures if unnecessary. And we can 99% of the time do the dog and get them used to grooming. And we usually can tell from an owner's being, I
Yeah.
would say, apprehensive way of asking.
Yes.
It could be, I don't know yet. Those are all answers to me that just say proceed with caution and then make notes. Have that communicative conversation with the client on what we can do forward to make it a better experience for everybody. And that usually puts everyone at ease.
So, do you have any final words of wisdom for our audience today?
Best thing I can say is you're the best advocate for your dog. So, do that, advocate for your dog. If you're not feeling like you can speak up or have a clear communication with a groomer, not necessarily a manager or a receptionist, but the person who actually sees your dog, if you're feeling something is off, it usually is. So, maybe seek somebody else where you feel a little bit more comfortable about talking to them or vice versa. Advocate for your dog and don't be afraid to list all of the things that are wrong, because as soon as you do that and somebody is hesitant to do it, those are you don't want to set your dog and somebody else up for failure. So that's the best way to find the perfect groomer for you.
Yes.
Well, thank you both. This conversation truly makes a difference in safety, trust, and long term grooming success. We'll see everyone next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.